Okay. Doesn't get anything out of that. Okay. Oh, it's because here you should get something out of it. Yes. Let's first check our tanks. Not tanks, but the ones in the melee range. But she gets it. She can keep it then. I should rub this ring off. Amulet, I don't need it. For unarmed melee attacks, and yeah. I don't have a monk. I don't really use any claw attacks or the likes, so there's no point in it. Just nice to have. Just collecting. I'll just collect it. Great. Okay. That being said, where is she? Spells. She can learn spells. See if there's anything particularly nice. What would be nice for her to have? Can't learn priest spells? Okay. Oh, she could Scroll of Shield. Learn that. You can learn this as well. Learn that, of course. He already has it. No. Oh, against law. From evil would be probably a good idea. Oh, that's a level 2 spell, okay. Can learn it. And Chaos. Can learn it. Hurricane Bow. Why not? Why not? We're a fox cunning. More intelligence. Pulse life, nah. Just retreat, enlarge, she already has. Divine favor is not for her, not for her. She doesn't need that, doesn't need that. Just can't. Fierce endurance. Scroll of Bane, nah, she can't. Okay. You don't a bunch of spells? I need to pee so fucking bad. Oh my god. Okay, 1 second, be right back. Right. So where was I? I don't think I need a large person there. I don't use it too often, so makes it kinda useless. Could use reduce person. Okay, we kind of wasted 1 spell slot right now, but whatever. Fine. Ooh, we can do this. But I'll leave it like this for now. And I can remove this one now, since he already has that spell.
Step, step, step!
Right, Tatsushi is gone. We can do the Tusk Thing quest. Tuskcutter. I think that's the name. The Tuskcutter quest. I think it wasn't even too far away, so we can... Right, we discovered one space down here. Let's see. We could... We could. I guess this is the borders. Jesus, there's so much to discover and we are just starting the game. Alright, let's start with this here. Let's see what the fuck this is. Why can I see this? Now of all things. We walked across the heath for a long time, yet no sign sprang up before our eyes. No sight. By turns we discovered a verdant lowland with several narrow-bout springs steaming down behind another hillside. And then, in the distance, in the center of the lowland among the bush, there stood a single dry tree. A true giant. Its magnificent outline resembled an animal's paw, clawing at the sky. But what was truly remarkable, the flat landscape was dotted by mysterious dark humps. They were piled up at the height of a man and scattered around in abundance. Alright, we determined that we should explore the lowlands. The further we trekked, the softer the land became. Step by step, heath grass gave way to moss, low-growing shrubs and ferns, and then slushy puddles of stinky swamp water. The muddy ground sucked at our feet, and soon our party was jumping from hassock to hassock. What is a hassock? Finally we reached the first group of the mysterious humps and learned they were no mere hills but dug-out dwellings. We moved with great care towards the center of the lowland, and there the real swamp began. On the way towards the mysterious giant tree we saw the foggy outline of another hut. This one much bigger and surrounded by small clay statues. That sounds like a place that would curse me. Standing one behind another and tied together with the rope, we continued our journey. Alright. We examined the surrounding dwellings. Inside the dugouts were frozy and darker than holes, and filled with absolute desolation. There was no windows in the mud walls, no furniture or other homely items, except for the odd piece of tattered wicker. But every dwelling had a large hole dug right in the center of the dirty floor, like a fire pit, taking up the greater part of the space. They were full with standing water and reeked beyond description. Let's try our luck. We failed! Oh no. We walked slowly, carefully choosing our way, keeping to drier grounds as much as possible. But the further we went, the more difficult it became, and soon we were wading waist deep through the cattails. Frogs croaked loudly as we peered anxiously into the cloudy water, struggling to make out what shadows flitted along the bottom. Suddenly Sam staggered, spit out an oath and flayed his arms. He'd made the wrong step, and unable to pull out his foot, he called out loudly, and began to sink into the wild green slush. Keeping our wits, we tugged at the rope, but the poorly tied knot quickly came undone. Who tied the damn rope? Wary of another of us getting sucked into the bog, we decided to form a living chain, standing next to each other and holding hands. began to pull up our fellow traveler. Luckily, Sam managed to keep his head above the water, while we struggled to rescue him, grabbing the nearest hand and pulling him with all his strength. He freed at first his one foot and then the other. Good job, team! The insatiable bog gurgled hungrily after us, but we didn't look back. Sudden and weary, we finally made it back to solid ground, and a place of sorts rose before our eyes. A spacious hut made of mud like the rest, but decorated with pebbles, bones, cattle spikes and snail shells. In front of the palace was a wide and shallow reserve. Its green water reflected the leaves of huge ferns and primitive clay figurines. The buzzing of gnats was nearly deafening. We were not far to the center of the swamp, and a firm and steady path led them through the thick bushes. At its end, a tall dry tree stretched mightily upwards, clawing at the firmament. Aww, little frogs. Statues, I will assume. Aww. We carefully examined the clay figurines, trying to fathom who they may portray. Do it. Yes! Google eyes, flat heads with no necks, ears or chins, ugly long legs, unnaturally bent. This sculpture could only be the work of boggarts. Primitive, cruel boggart tribes had inhabited the swamps of Garund and Vistchin since the old days. Pitiless to others and to each other, they were led by the darker instinct of the insane priest kings. They are known to grow young fry in the pools inside the houses. We peeked inside the huts. Ooh, leather, sword, coin. The palace was twice the height of our other huts, and its entrance was wide enough that three could walk abreast. The walls were decorated, and an unknown builder had scratched drawings in the clay while it was still wet. The faded score deciphered huge amphibians devouring smaller figures. Some frog-headed, others not. 3 of the 4 rooms boasted large holes filled with water, just like the other dwellings. Though here there were steps ascending into them, cut into the dirt. In the further room we found equipment decorating the walls. Leather armor, spears, clubs. To our surprise, a number of items were well preserved. The hut was clearly deserted, so we felt no shame in taking some of it with us. Alright, one second.